man on fire. Sugar cane no more. Man on fire.
Hey, I'm on fire now. This topic is a fire topic, and I want you to come right in and sit down. Let's delve into it. Man on fire.
Hey, man on fire. Man on fire. Sit at home,
people. So yes, our energy is high. It is Christmas and we are loving it. Everywhere is smelling jollof rice already, and if you're not smelling it, then you have to enter the spirit. Just tune up your antenna and enter the spirit and you perceive that jollof aroma. Welcome on this one. I know we are all here to hear the ending part of what Coco did and what Coco did not do. Remember, my last video was about the cocoa tree. Most of us will be lost in the whole gist. We needed to run through some things about the cocoa tree. But on this one, I will not take you through it exactly how you would expect me to, because I'm not here to bore you all over again. And most importantly, we have something interesting, the ending part of what this cocoa we've been talking about, we'll be using it to make. I would have loved to make a homemade chocolate, but maybe we'll keep that for some other time. On this one, I'll be doing a cocoa syrup, and you follow me, just a simple process. The cocoa tree, like we did cocoa plants, like we already know from the last video, it needs a lot of serenity. But that's not to say that the plant is a difficult one, right? The plant is one that is the care for a cocoa plant. In fact, let me put it that way. The care for a cocoa plant is not difficult. It requires the regular pruning, the regular fertilization, as far as you get the components right. The components like the phosphorus, the magnesium and all of that. Please, I'll list them here on the screen. The components that every fertilizer that is required by a cocoa plant, you have to be careful not to transfer this fertilizer on the plant body itself. You have to know how to administer this fertilizer, or else you'll be at the risk of putting a fertilizer borne on the plant. The plant is not difficult to care for. The plant is such that, like I was saying, the regular pruning, the regular weeding, the regular watering, the regular just the regular everything you do for normal every cocoa tree wants whoever planted it to be around, or wants someone around. It's not a tree you will plant and go and rest, like I said about the plantain. Not like that for the cocoa plant. You have to be there, you have to always come around, and I think that's it basically. Another important thing I want to stay here is that it needs a lot of soil regeneration. I think that's where the challenge is. You know, the plant is such that every farmer planting a cocoa tree ordinarily goes hand in hand with pesticides and chemicals. So at the end of the day, these things go right back into the soil and it depletes the nutrients. So normally what every farmer should do is to find ways to put back these nutrients back in the soil. The other challenge, and like we already know, it's not a challenge, the plant takes a while. You have to be patient with it. It takes a while. It's not one that you will cultivate now and harvest in the next few months. You have to hold out for it and pay attention to it. Another angle I would want us to look into is the exportation of cocoa. So hey, let's talk about cocoa production in Nigeria first of all. The data on the screen shows high exports of cocoa from Nigeria. One can say that Nigeria's relationship with cocoa production and exportation varies. The slides show pointers that will help everybody understand the market, from the 4 main varieties of cocoa, yes, to key factors causing the rapid decline of its production. Nigeria's major producing states will be Ondo State, and a few major companies are players in cocoa as cash crop. Although the market prices are set by the unending fluctuations of demand and supply, cocoa business seems challengingly profitable for Nigeria's private farmers, So yes, to answer the question on ground, cocoa is exported from Nigeria also. The Cocoa House in Dugbe, Oyo State, stands tall today, depicting the once enviable profitability Nigeria enjoyed from cocoa. And we already know that Ghana exports the most cocoa from West Africa. We have a lot of cashew plantation. We have what's it called? There's this other one, sugarcane plantation, and all of that. And these ones are easier to maintain. These ones are easier to go around them on a higher scale, like we have over there in Ghana, where there's a high concentration of cocoa exportation, so much so that the Ghanaian government is involved. In fact, it's a crime if you, a farmer, just up one day to say you are selling your cocoa farm. This has its good side and its bad side. On the good side, you know, the government puts this market right up there. It's a cash product, right? It's a cash crop, and so the government carries it on its head and does all that there is to be done. All you need to do as a farmer is to get your crop ready, to get your produce ready, to get it to get a bounty harvest. That's the right word, to get a bounty harvest. But on the other side, the government is also not fulfilling their promises they're supposed to be up and doing when it comes to providing for farmers, giving them the necessary maintenance tools and kits they need, like this pesticide we've been talking about since. There's a documentary I would want us to go check out. The documentary is by our loving Wode Maya, the Ghana baby. I know we are small here in this channel, but I still have to bring this here because Wode's documentary opened my eyes a lot as to what is going on in the cocoa farming industry over there in Ghana. There are lots of challenges around this production of cocoa. There's a lot of challenges around it. I love the documentary in that he didn't come to make it as serious as, you know, how documentaries will be, but then most of the informations you would want to get as a cocoa farmer or as someone who would want to go into cocoa farming in the near future, or you just need to have information on what's on ground, what's going on. He treated it to the T. He dealt with it step by step. I mean, I love how he carried his brothers along. And the interesting thing is that he was taking us through his father's cocoa. One thing I observed in the cocoa farm, his father's cocoa farm, was that there were spacing. You could see one cocoa plant here, and then if you look very well, the other one gave like about some yards away. So there was spacing, and in that way, I think, because one of the challenges, why I say this is because I'm getting back to what I'm saying. One of the challenges that farmers are facing is this soil regeneration we are talking about. You know, the cocoa plant stays for well over 40 years, but its cost commercial year is like about 20 to 25 years. Let's say your cocoa plantation is not doing as you would want it to, of cutting down everything, uprooting everything, just so that you will give your soil time to regenerate. But with Wode's father's farm, I don't think that is what they do. Wode told us that he's been visiting that farm right from when he was a baby. I want to know how they are regenerating the soil. How is that soil over there being regenerated? I wish he took us into the nitty-gritties of what the farmers do and all of that. But I love how he away from all the seriousness and took us into, you know, a little bit of crab hunting here and there, you know, raw crab hunting. I mean, I had smiles all through watching the video. Please go watch, and let me skip right into the last portion of this video. Remember, my main aim of bringing this here is to spur that thing in your hearts, in all of our hearts. I have a garden, so I am searching again for cocoa pod, and it has been difficult, just like as it was the very first time. Where I got it the first time, I cannot locate the place. The woman is no longer there. It was just as if God wanted me to talk about this cocoa, and he made that lady available. Here is my garden. Here is how I've carved out a little spot in my backyard and in readiness for whatever I want to plant. I encourage you, if you want to go into this, I mean, there's an open market for this, right? Here in Nigeria, you have the monopoly to maximize this market as much as you can. You also have the time to learn on the job. The cocoa plant is not one that you will be asking what is it used for. There are lots of uses for cocoa, and it's not something you will ever run out of a market for. And so I believe that if young people will look into this and also look into ways to improve mechanization regarding cocoa planting, cocoa cultivation, harvesting, germination, and all of that, it will attract more eyes to it. It will draw more attention of younger people going into cocoa planting as a source of business and explore so many opportunities that are in it. Mechanization is not something we'll look down on. Mechanization has come to stay. You can see a video I have here. This is just a simple harvest stretch of the Irish potato. You can see how it makes things easy. You can see the lots that they are picking up just within minutes. And so mechanization is not something we will look away from when it comes to agriculture, especially in a crop like cocoa that has a lot of benefits. In a short while, we'll be talking about the benefits of this cocoa. But before we do that, I want to take you into a little myth that I discovered about the cocoa. You know, when I say that the cocoa plant has a lot of benefits, it looks as if I am hyping the crop, right? The cocoa plant, the cocoa itself, is a drink for the gods. This myth holds it true that there's a god, feathered god, that came himself to plant this cocoa and infuse all the nutrients that it has in it today, and that the drink, whoever enjoys this drink is having a drink with the gods. So the myth holds true for people who believe in it, but this is to tell you that there is a knowledge somewhere that holds this drink because it has a lot of capabilities. It is seen as a drink for the gods. Cocoa has a lot of benefits. I have been saying, I wish I can sit down to run you through these benefits, but I can't, right? Because it is a lot. Cocoa goes into skin improvement, it goes into arthritis. There are claims that it goes into cancer, it goes into constipation. I can go on and on, but I'll rather list it in the next slide because I wouldn't want to take your time. I wouldn't want to, but please pause this video and have a read. A cocoa plant is what every home needs at the back of its house. It goes into fatty liver, and if you know the risks that resolve around fatty liver, you will be screaming at this point. It goes into a lot, diabetics. Let me stop here so that you do the reading for yourself. And on the very last note, dogs cannot have cocoa. Let me not beat around the bush. Dogs cannot have cocoa. Anyone who is going in for some sort of surgery should also stay away from having this cocoa drink, having anything cocoa related 2 weeks before 2 weeks before they go in for their surgery. And that's about it. Basically, there are so many ways you can prepare your cocoa. I will be doing mine as a syrup so that we can use it in the next video for a salad factory treat, and how I will be using the syrup I will make today for the Christmas, for the holidays. I hope I have time. I wouldn't want this video to stretch into a next one. Please stay with me and watch it to the end. Yeah, I'm excited. You know already, whenever I bring something very interesting, you will see me smiling all through till the video has run out. Thank you so much for staying with me on this one. Please like and subscribe. Yes, you know, I was trying to say why I've brought this video here. Remember, I said we are here to encourage each other as mothers. There are some companies, I'll list them here also, who are into chocolate production here in Nigeria. You can be a private cocoa producer. You can have your own small cocoa farm at the back of your house, like I said, and then you can contact these companies and find if there are ways you can supply cocoa to them. You may never know, you can at the end of it all max out on this opportunity. I mean, like I said, I will already have a cocoa plant at the back of my house. I'm already on a hunt for that. And yes, thank you so much. You know the rest already. Keep searching, keep looking for opportunities. There are thousands of them out there. Don't go into the box and box yourself in. Thank you so much on this one. Please like and subscribe. Until the next one, come with me to the kitchen. Let's make this syrup. Thank you guys and have a blessed one.